This is Tim Willis in the fabulous Ghettowood Studios, and it's early in the morning and I'm recording this introduction for the next video, which will be a ClickDesigns video. And we're going to be making a couple of box shots in ClickDesigns. And one of the nice things about ClickDesigns is it offers you 2D and 3D templates that look really good on a web page and certainly look better than a flat image. I did two different box shots in this video. I did one modifying an existing template and one starting completely from scratch. And so it's a bit longer video than usual, but you are kind of getting two videos for the price of one. As is usual with a Ghettowood production, there's going to be no gimmicks, there'll be no fancy jump cuts, there'll be no flashbang effects. You're just going to get a straight up video because I'm the most non-gimmicky guy you're going to find. And with that, let's go ahead and go to the video. This is Tim Willis, and today we're going to be working in ClickDesigns, and we're continuing our tour of the various functions we have on the toolbar. We've already covered custom graphics and logos, so today we're going to work with box shots. So let's go ahead and enter that area. And box shots, there's two ways to go. You can start with one of the templates they provided, and they provided quite a few, or you can start from scratch, do it that way. So let's go ahead and look at both ways. Let's go ahead and start here by picking out one of these templates. And let's pick out this one here. It looks fairly simple, and as always you can preview it, see what it's going to look like. This is a 2D. And so we'll just click on Use Template, give it a name. And we'll just call it Box 1. And as you can see, we have a two-dimensional box. It's fairly simple design. If we put our mouse cursor over either panel, it's going to light up in purple telling us that it's editable. Now I want you to notice up here, it does give the dimensions. You might want to note those at some point if you're going to be doing box shots, because that will tell you what size you need to make graphics if you're pre-making graphics for one of these box shots. But we're just going to do a slight modification of this one. The scenario here would be that you found something you like, you think it's going to work, and maybe you just need to change some colors, some text, maybe change out the picture. But you're pretty okay with the design as a whole. So let's go ahead and click on the front, and it gives you a couple of choices. You can edit, you can upload it as it is, you can go to the library, or you can export it as a flat image. We're just going to click on Edit. And that will load it up into the editor. Generally on these things I will reduce the size so I can see the whole thing. And let's go like that. Okay, so we've got some text. We've got a shape graphic here. And we have a picture. And that's about it. So let's start out looking at our picture. Let's go to our images. And let's choose a search term. Let's put in writer just to see what happens. And as usual, I'm doing these by the seat of my pants. I don't plan these things out too much, but I'm so used to using ClickDesigns that, you know, I'm comfortable doing it that way. By the way, all these images are royalty free and they come from Pixabay. So I think I'm going to go with this illustration here. And so what I'm going to do is go ahead and delete the photo that's on there. And go to my images. Let's go ahead and pick this one here. It will load up into the default size. Now we're going to want to have it align it to the bottom. And let's go ahead and pull up the diagonal handle and see what we get size wise. Okay, so I think we can work with that. What I'll probably have to do is create some kind of subtext. Let's go ahead with our text box here. Actually, what I'm going to do first was a shape here. I'm going to go ahead and delete that for right now. And then let's go to our text. We call it and let's put in one more line there. Okay, so we've got 4 lines now, so I think we may just bring it down a little bit and we won't have to create something else. I think that'll be okay. Alright, and then let's look at our font style, or font family rather. When we click in ClickDesigns, and it's one of my favorite things, is we go to our fonts, we can mouse over the font and it's going to change the font on the screen and show us what it's going to look like. And it is such a handy feature that I miss it on any other program that doesn't have that kind of functionality. And of course some of these fonts are so crazy that they're kind of cool, but nothing that you would actually use for a title. Alright, let's go to Josephine Sands here, and then let's look at what happens. It's already bolded. Okay, let's increase the size some to get somewhat centered. We could italicize it. I don't like the way that looks. We can also increase the line height. Let's try going to 1. Don't like that either. And letter spacing I think we're okay with. Let's look at changing up the color some though. Let's just go with black to start off with. A little iffy. Let's try more red color. Let's just go with that red for right now. We can always change it later. Normally I would bring up something like coolers.io or Adobe Color to pick out my color palettes, but since I'm flying by the seat of my pants right now, we can always modify it again if we need to. So there's my front panel. Let's take a look at one other possibility here, and let's go to our elements and see, look real quick here if there's anything that interests me. Let's just look at this smoke, see if we got anything there that we might want to use. These are images, so you can't change the color except using filters. Let's go ahead and drop this one in there. And then we want to bring it backwards, so let's go ahead and send it backwards so that our text will be on top. It's still kind of big. Could work though. And let's look at our filters, see what happens when we do that. That's okay. That's not okay. That's really not okay. We also can put both sepias on there. Or we can make it grayscale. There's not a whole lot in effects in ClickDesigns, but it's more focused on templates. But I think I will work with the sepia one. Actually, no, I think I'm not going to. I think I'm going to do with that one and then play with the opacity. Okay, that's not too bad. It needs to come up a little bit. And I think that looks kind of okay. At the moment, let's go with that. Okay, so that's good for right here. Let's go ahead and click on Save and Exit. And that's going to take us back out to our template. And now we'll go ahead and select. And now we'll go ahead and select the side panel. And again, click on Edit. Alright, so this one is going to be a little different. Let's go ahead and make our background white. And then our text, we're going to make it that color that we used on the other one, which is why I put it on the notepad. Now, the text element does not have the same title we had on there, so we're going to have to change that. I should have actually done that too. So I should have put it on the notepad, but oh well. It's so short I can remember what I did. let's draw this down a little bit so we see. Yeah, it's kind of crowding the area of the cabinets there, so we need to reduce the size some. But before we do that, let's try going to our font style, or font family rather, and go back to that Josephine Sans that we used on the front and see how that looks. Still kind of big, so let's go ahead and drop it down just a little bit like that. I think that looks pretty good. And you notice it has a little blue line here. It has a line that's very small. Let me make this full size so you can see better. It has a line here where you can change the angle manually, which corresponds as well to the angle. You can set the angle here either using these quadrant buttons or set a number in here if you wanted to shift the angle. We're not going to do that right here, but that is there. Just wanted to know that. So I think we look pretty good. We got the color same and all that. I do want to try one other thing here, and I have suspicion it may not work that well, but we're going to give it a shot anyway, just to see. And we're going to try putting that same image there and bring it to the top. Here. Now, I don't know if we're going to be able to do that on this one here, but let's try pulling this all the way down, just see what happens. And then we will play with the opacity. And it's not quite as effective as it was on the front. We could leave that there or try replacing something else, but I think I'm just going to get rid of it. And we'll just keep it like that. Now, you could do other things. You could have 2 lines of text here, or you could make it much smaller and maybe have a picture or some kind of company logo down here, but I think that's good enough for way of explanation right now, that we can save and exit and then see what we got. Okay, so there we have our box, and not the greatest box shot I've ever done, but for purposes of demonstration it'd be fine. And so now we want to go ahead and save it. Okay, now it's saved and we got everything saved. And of course we can always go back and edit and change if we want to, but we'll go ahead and exit, and that will take us back out to the main screen. So I showed how you can use the Boxshots section and using a template that is pre-designed and altering it. So let's go back into Boxshots from the beginning, and this time we're going to do one from scratch. So in this case we're going to come from our panel. We're going to call this box 2. Make sure we have Boxshots selected here, then go to the bottom and click on continue, and it's going to load up a page with a bunch of wireframe templates, and we can pick one out. And you notice it says here that templates with the same color tag be replicate each other. So if you create one of these that has the same color frame, you can move it to another one that's a different angle or a different direction. We're going to just pick one of these out and go with it. And I think I'm going to pick this one out right here. This is a 3D template. Okay, so you see we have 3 panels here on this one. And so we're just going to click on this main panel, edit, and click on create. And I really haven't planned anything out here, so we're just going to create on the fly. So first we're going to reduce our cabinets down so we can see the whole thing. And I think I'll start by making the background black. Then let's go ahead and put some text on there. By default, all your text is always black, so we'll need to immediately change the color on this. Let's change it to white for right now. Let's move that up here. Alright, so we're going to make this a box set of classic horror movies, because why not? And let's go to our images and do a search. See, we have the word monster, what that brings up. Now, because these are free images from Pixabay, we probably aren't going to have any classic horror movie creatures like Frankenstein or Dracula, but we'll see what we come up with. Kind of in that direction, but not exactly. Kind of like that guy, but he's too dark against that black background. Let's try this one here. Kind of dark, but I think it'll work. And you see there's little green lines, we center that. Probably lay that in the middle, but probably needs the text down, a new text layer down here. And we'll say something. Don't know what we're going to say yet, but we'll say something. So let's say curated by Stephen King. Why not? And we'll go ahead and make that 2 lines. I kind of have an idea now what I want to do with this font. I need to make it a little bigger. And there are some crazy fonts here that may suit our purpose for something like this. I don't remember the name of this particular font, but well, we'll go with this Creepster. That will work for that. Let's go ahead and make it a little bigger. And then let's go ahead and jack with the color a little bit. Let's go ahead down here and give it a red color. I like that red color. That will work. Okay, and then we have our text down here. Again, let's make it bigger. And go ahead and center that. And maybe we'll just go with the same red on that. So let me use our color pick eyedropper here built in. Click on that, select that, and then click on that. And right now, let's use a different font on that. Let's try this crushed one, and then let's go ahead and make it bold. Make it bigger. Not the greatest thing ever, but I'm just doing this to show you the possibilities, basic possibilities of ClickDesigns, how we can do things quickly. Okay, we'll go with that. So I think we're good. We can save and exit. So we'll come to this side panel here, and we'll click on Create. And we'll start out by making the background black. And then we will go to text, and we are going to put in a new text layer. And then we're going to make it white for the lettering so we can see it. See, it's always going to come out looking that way on the text when you work on one of these side panels, even though it's aligned the wrong way. So what you do is you come to your text, and there's a couple of different ways of dealing with this. The easiest way is going to be to come down here to our angle and click the 90 button. But you gotta make sure it's selected. Okay, click your 90-degree button like that, and now it's pointed the right way. We can always fix it later if we need to. Let's go ahead and grab our color off here, and our font is going to be changed to Creepster in just a little bit here. Okay, so we'll just go with that for our side panel. I don't think we really need to do any more. Of course, we'll just leave it like that for the sake of this demonstration and click on Save and Exit. Collection of classic horror movies. Okay, so let's go ahead and change that real quick. I thought I was missing something. And let's select the text. Alright, now it's a little large, so we're going to reduce the size some. And we'll go like that. Let's save and exit again, and this time we have everything like it's supposed to be. Alright, so then that leaves us this top panel. And it's basically going to be sort of a rinse and repeat of what we've already done. It's going to be, of course, much smaller. Make it a little bigger. And so we'll go to the background and make it black. And then we'll put in a new text layer. And we'll go ahead and make that our red color. Okay, and then this time we'll probably change it up just a little bit. Make it 2 rows. Go down and select the Creepster font. And then let's see what how we can size this. And this one, we could leave it like that, but let's go ahead. Actually, I'm just going to leave it like that. I mean, that's good enough to show that. I was thinking I might put it over here and put something else over there, but I think I'll just leave it like that for the sake of this demonstration. And we'll save and exit. Okay. And we could have ran it the top all the way across, but it would have been kind of small. But if we're happy with everything we've got there, we can click on Save. And boom, there's our box shot. And we've got this whole thing done in not too much time, and not too bad, because really we started out here with me not having a clue as to what I was even going to do with it. But alright, let's go ahead and exit out. That will take us back to the main screen. And then on our main panel, you can see both our box shots right there, and because they're the most recently made items. And then from here we could do all sorts of things, including download them and use them in a project. So that is really the quick overview of 2 different ways you can make box shots in ClickDesigns. And so this is Tim Willis with ClickFunnels and ClickDesigns, and I'm a certified ClickFunnels funnel builder, and I make these videos on ClickFunnels, ClickDesigns, and useful tools to use with both programs on this YouTube channel. And so that is the video for today. So we'll talk to you folks later. Bye.